So as you can probably can tell, I'm a really big Persona fan, and I've actually gone to the series a couple of years ago, starting with Persona 5. And frankly, I've actually had a lot of fun with the games I've played, starting with Persona 5, and then later on going to emulate Persona 3 and Persona 4. And frankly, even then, like starting with all the way from Persona 5 all the way back to like say Persona 3 and 4, it's kind of been a struggle just because of the different gameplay aspects that has been added in Persona 5, and like Persona 3 and 4 didn't have them. But Persona 4 Golden had them, but I don't have a Vita or a PlayStation TV, so I can't experience them. But you know, there are still some things I like about the Persona 3 and Persona 4. In the case of the video, I'll be talking about Persona 3 and some aspects I like from that, and I'll probably do one for Persona 4, and even then I'll also probably do one for other video game series. It's just I feel like starting with Persona 3 would be a good starting point, and I can't really record Persona 5 stuff, so I can't do a video on that. But it's I'll just start with Persona 3 because I feel like it's a good start. So one of the first things I really like about Persona 3 is that the fact that there were three different kinds of physical attacks. I know the other ones, Persona 4 and Persona 5, didn't, but in the case of Persona 3, I like how like it adds a different kind of like weakness and saying what physical attack you gotta use for that situation, whether that be slash, strike, or pierce. I'm pretty sure it's pierce, yeah. And then it's actually also the fact that like how in Persona 3 Fez, the one I'm actually playing right now, has the protagonist being able to wield different kinds of weapons, whether that be a sword, bow, or well, at least the ones I've noticed, because then he can technically use whatever type of weapon he wants for the situation. And I know in the PSP version that wasn't added, and frankly it makes sense because it's on the PSP, but I'll get to that a bit later. There's also the kind of color of the game, like how it's really blue and dark and depressing. Like it took me a while to get used to it, but frankly now I can clearly say that yeah, it's pretty good. I kind of like it. I don't mind it as much as I did before, but yeah, I guess it kind of has to get used to it. And there's also the character designs. I feel like Persona, well, the ones 3 to 5 has really good character designs with its main cast and side characters, which I really like. And there's also the full moon bosses. Frankly, like considering from Persona 3, no, Persona 4 and Persona 5 bosses, I feel like Persona 3s are kind of unique, at least the ones I've experienced, because, for example, at least say from the first two bosses, the first ones you have to kill in a time limit, and the second ones you have to use Fuka's scanner thingy to see what it's weak to, and I actually really like that fight. That's probably my favorite fight in Persona 3 right now. And there's also the soundtrack of the game, which some of my favorite tracks in the case of Persona 3, I really like Mass Destruction. Everyone likes Mass Destruction. It's like fucking the meme. So it's actually kind of great. I actually do like it. But then there's also When the Moon's Reaching Out and Master of Shadow. And I gotta say that some of the main cast is still kind of likable. Like, for example, Yukari is the best girl and You Can't Change My Mind, and I will gladly fight you on that. But now I think it's time to move on to what I disliked about the game. And again, most of the stuff I'll be talking about is stuff I disliked from Persona 3 Fez and Persona 3 Portable, since I played both and I just switched over to Persona 3 Fez because of some reasons. But first off, I know I said I liked it earlier, but I really don't like the fact that how there's three different physical attacks. I know I just said I really like them, but it's kind of annoying how like you have three different ones, and it's like if like say like for example like if the boss you're fighting is weak or like resistant to like say pierce attacks, and like all the AI is doing is pierce attacks, it's like stop guys, please, it's resistant, at least do something else, And I guess in Persona 3 Fez, it's kind of like how they didn't add the fact that you can like change, or like you can change the commands for them, like where you can't directly control them. And I know that added in the Persona 3 Portable, and I like that. So that's that, at least that was added. But then I also in Persona 3 Portable, I didn't like how you can't use different weapons for the protagonist. You can only use swords, and I frankly found that kind of a downgrade. But it's on the PSP, and there's also another thing on the Persona 3 PSP. I'm saying, oh god. But okay, that how you can't move around the map in 3D, and again, I know it's because of the limitation of the PSP, but that's just a small little nitpick for that. And there's also the fact that like it takes you a while to get a lot stronger skills from what I've noticed in Persona 3, like in terms of like say physical attacks, right? I was like mid-20s and I still had the lowest level of physical attacks, and frankly in Persona 5 you can get medium physical attacks by the second palace because of Yusuke, but in Persona 3 I was like mid-ish 20s and still didn't have much medium physical attacks. It takes a while to get good skills from what I've noticed, but again, that's just a really small nitpick. And there's also the fact that Persona 3, I know in both versions you can't inherit, or you can't pick where your Persona inherits. I know Persona 4 on the PS2 didn't do that either, and I still don't like that, but I know you can also like do it by exiting out of the menu and like going back and doing that, but I don't know, that's just a really iffy thing I still can't stand in the game. But that's just, again, me just nitpicking stuff I don't like. I seriously do think that if I played Persona 3 before Persona 4, I might have liked it a little bit better, at least from a gameplay standpoint, just because like Persona 5 is a lot more modern, and Persona 3 was made back in like what, 2006-ish. But I still really do think that Persona 3 is a good entry. The characters are nice so far, the music is really nice, like I really like the jazz and like other stuff in it, and the main theme of the game, that being like like accepting death and that stuff, that's still a really good thing in the game. Like that's still a good reason why I like it, and frankly it's still a good JRPG on its own merits. And frankly I would say, yeah, go back, like even if you're getting into it and you don't have a PS4 or a PS3, go emulate whichever version of Persona 3 you want, whether that be the PSP version or the PS2. I probably would say the PS3 just because it's easier to emulate, but that's if you can. If you have the copy, or if you can go out there and buy the actual PS2 game or the PSP game or whatever, just go out and do that. But still, I say, yeah, it's really good, and frankly, even though it's not one of my favorite JRPGs, I would still recommend it to people. And this has been me. See you guys later, and I hope you guys come back later and watch more of my videos. See ya.